Good evening, everyone, and welcome to WANA Live, the reading series of the Writers Association of Northern Appalachia. I'm Damian Dressick, your host, and here's your other host.
I'm Christina Fasonic from Wheeling, West Virginia, and I'm still upright, and so is my house. Lots of storms moving through Northern Appalachia tonight, and I presume that you're safe over there in Slippery Rock?
I am glad to hear you're not in the middle of squashing a witch.
Yes, no, nothing like that happened, but that was my mother calling me. As you can see, worried about me still, even at 47. Your mama still calls you sometimes to make sure you're safe. So thankfully, everything is good, though.
I think she's looking for, like the line on the Pirates game, but
you never know about my mom. She's a non-traditional mom, so you never know. Anyway, so
tonight.
Yeah, we have a new writer tonight, and he is John Repp. He's a poet, fiction writer, essayist, book critic, voracious reader, baseball crank, film noir devotee, music fanatic, collector of ephemera, especially family and found snapshots, an aficionado of Civil War and Reconstruction history, mental hygiene classroom films, Depression-era documentary photography, 1950s and 60s American and Japanese popular culture, and the cultural history of the lands bordering Delaware Bay. That is a lot to be an expert in. From the fall of 1991 until retiring in August of 2020, he taught writing at Edinboro University. So, should we bring him on?
I think we should.
Okay. Good evening, John.
Good evening, everyone.
How are you?
Damien, thank you for having me.
We're glad you could come on, John.
Absolutely.
So before you start reading, how do you keep all of these things straight? I mean, when you're looking for collectibles or something, you have to have these things memorized in your head. You can't always just Google everything. So
no, you use the word expert. I'm not an expert in any of that. I'm the devotee, maniac, fanatic, not an expert. I love all those. I had fun writing that. I'll probably change it at some point, but I love all that stuff and more. So
I was going to say, don't blame me. I read that right off of your website.
I know. Oh, that's familiar.
Right.
No, I'm not an expert in those. Not even baseball, which I've been following since I was more or less. Sometimes I get impatient with Major League Baseball, like now. But
this is a tough town to be a hard.
Yeah, it is. What was I going to say? Since I was like 8 years old, but even that I'm not an expert in. So.
No, the only thing that could happen would make it worse is if they brought in the Mets.
Yeah. Or the Yankees.
Anyway. The lion's share owner of the Pittsburgh Pirates is a Wheeling boy. So
is he? I didn't know that.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Owns the local newspaper and several other newspapers in that system. Yes. Yeah, interesting trivial fact. You'll hear lots of Wheeling trivia from me if you watch the show.
Okay.
Anyways, so we are going to disappear and let you read. What are you going to read for us?
What'd you say?
What are you going to read for us?
Oh, I'm gonna read a number of poems. Of the first two are relatively recent,
okay.
And then I'll read a series of what are called haibun, which is a Japanese form that I adapted. It's a mixture of haiku and prose, little bits of prose alternating with haiku, just a few of those, and then close with a poem from a book I'll show a couple or 3 or 5 times during this event. This brand new book, The Soul of Rock and Roll. It's this book of selected poems, just came out earlier this month.
Excellent.
Broadstone Books, which is located in Frankfort, Kentucky. So The Soul of Rock and Roll. Anyway, so that's the last poem.
It's so shiny.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's just out of the box. The newest box.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
So, should I just start, or sorry, what?
We're going to get out of here and let you do your thing.
All right.
Yep.
Let me just call up what I'm going to read here, get it to the right size, and get the right file. Everybody can watch me fiddle around with my computer. All right. So I'll just say I like to write down introductions so I don't get lost in my words. As I just summarized, all the poems I'll read, or I didn't say this part, are set on or near the Crawford County farmstead I rented for 7 years. The first poem is about running and tree frogs. It's called Running Past Lloyd and the Peepers. Once upon a time, I ran through the squeal whistle shrill of the Peepers, past what had always been Lloyd's trailer, and the field across the road where last July 4th, Lloyd chased his screaming, near-naked kids with a lawn tractor belching blue smoke, in the roiling midst of which I waved to Lloyd and his oblivious kids and his wife waving as she roasted 5 hot dogs pierced with pointed sticks, each braced on a 3-brick stack. The all but dead bonfire billowing smoke that nearly obscured the untrimmed log addition Lloyd had joined to the trailer by means of a wizardry forever beyond me. In a may as well be mythical time, I'd come home after a complicated time away to run past a bearded someone feeding Lloyd's fire pit trash bags swollen with what seemed clothes or bedding, an oily, reeking swirl of turbid smoke devils enveloping me as I waved at the oblivious stranger and never broke stride, the peeper squeal filling the woods that within a dozen footfalls crowded the roadsides again. Lloyd's panel van didn't tilt in the 2-track, nor did his tractor squat under the lean-to. The 3 stumps he pulled a spring ago to make more garden still lay by the drainage ditch, and I never again saw anyone on that plot of ground. This poem is called One Morning, Crawford Township. One morning, someone pounded the door so hard it bent inward a little at the upper corner opposite the hinges. Edward Jr., panting, beat-faced, running sweat. Hay clippings plastered the jiggly chest and arms. Shear bar came loose. Knives flew by my head. Heck of a mess out there. So of course I let him call his mother to get Billy to come get me, and got him a beer, but he stomped back out to the tractor, the uncut alfalfa half hid, and lickety-split Billy lulled a huge Chrysler up the field, and off they went. For 2 days, no engines, though the cicadas did their best. Nothing can do justice to the blackbirds and fireflies. The next several pieces appear in a chapbook published a number of years ago by Seven Kitchens Press. Here it is, still available. It's called Big Caniati, American Haibun. Press is, again, Seven Kitchens Press. Wonderful poet and editor Ron Mooring runs the press. And he's published many chapbooks by Pennsylvania poets. So it's a little plug, a big plug for Seven Kitchens Press. Check them out. As I said earlier, the Haibun form, and I've made it American Haibun because I didn't stick to some features of the Japanese form. But I'll just stop and read the haiku and then the prose commentaries. No matter what, horseflies, wasps, half-eaten raccoon. Bottom half welded flat to the asphalt. 5 blood-crusted tufts of fur quivering in the breeze. Maggots for eyes. 4 paws outstretched. Cool morning. No crows at the raccoon yet. No worry. Banquets up and down the road. Cold rain, no crows, distant rumbling engines. I want a backhoe, block, mortar, levels, mallets, a crew, acreage, this ground, hickory beams, artesian well, orchard, honeysuckle, hyacinths, bales of basil, beefsteak tomatoes, snow squalls, hailstorms, dead white heat, and it's breaking. And finally, this poem, which is appears in this book, The Soul of Rock and Roll, available now from Broadstone Books or the poet himself via his website, or Barnes & Noble, or even Amazon. So, the final poem, Canoeing the Lagoon. The morning heat hasn't steamed in, and my muscles haven't twitched their last. So for now, it's June. Cool mist twining above the lilies. Two men casting for largemouth they hope are hungry. The channel deeper than anyone has ever known it. I hand the paddle from side to side, gape at and fail to notice the miracle of mundane eye and elbow and thumb. The gurgle the blade makes when I plunge it in and pull. It no longer matters who taught me what stern means. I rented this thing and soon must guide it back. And those are the poems. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, whoever you are out there.
Our loyal and devoted readers.
Yes, there you go.
Viewers.
Watchers.
Sounds kind of sinister.
Audience.
Yes.
So, John, I really loved your poetry. I love that there's almost like a melancholy infused description. These descriptions of nature.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Yep.
Yeah, sure.
They were fun to write. I mean, I know that there's certainly melancholy in there. Yes.
Well, the maggots for eyes. I love that. That was.
Yeah, you what can you say? You're on any rural road, any road. Well, any road really. But yeah, you live on a country road, and that's what you see, and see the crows doing what they do, and everything else doing what it does, and yeah, there it is. Yeah, no, living up here, it's a big part of things. I love the line, roiling in the midst. I think I'm going to start to see people start asking me like, what are you doing this evening? Oh, I'm roiling in the midst. Okay. Yeah. I think there's a high utility to that phrase. Yeah. Well, if you've ever. Well, I used to many years ago. I used to cut grass for a living, so I breathed a lot of two-stroke engine exhaust. So that yeah, and that was Lloyd's tractor was badly maintained, and the actual Lloyd, that was his actual name, but it was badly maintained because it would just spew blue-black smoke. So it was a real contact high then. Well, yeah. And you're running past, so you're sucking in the Well, to be honest, Damien, I can't think of anybody else who could better embody roiling in the mist than you. I'm not sure entirely how to take that. So how did you, John? How did you get in touch with, get involved with Seven Kitchens Press? They do the Rain Arroyo series. Rain was a mentor of mine. Back, wow, he's a fine poet. Yeah. Oh, he was a freaking genius. Yeah. When I was a grad student, he was visiting at Pitt, and he was working on the television poems. Oh, okay. So I'm a huge fan of Rain. So I know that they do that. So how did you get involved with them? it was just a matter of, God, I don't remember really. I think it was just a matter of looking probably online to see because I had a couple of collections actually, and then I came upon the website and bought a couple books, and he really does. God, I'm so honored to be. I have 2 collections with them. And he just does beautiful work. He just, it's so much care put into the production of the chapbooks, hand sewn. He makes them one at a time, and it's just So that was it. And the number of chapbooks that he puts out. Well, it's a they, but it's a small operation. But Ron Mooring is the driving force. But the number of publications that he puts out is amazing, and the quality is amazing. There's several. There's a Rain Arroyo series. There's a Robin Becker series. There's a Pennsylvania Only. Got the Keystone series. So it's got several series going on, and then it's just it's small presses or good small presses are where it's at. Boy.
Well, I want to underscore something you said for anybody who's listening or watching who's an emerging writer. And this is John Repp here. Take it from John. The first thing he said, I bought some books from them.
Yeah.
It's like that's
Yeah, very important. I mean, you can't buy everything from everyone that you want to, but it's so important. It's so important. I mean, yeah, it's just so important. If you don't purchase something from, like me, let's be honest. If you don't purchase anything by John Repp, purchase something by somebody else, because it's you got nobody makes a living out of this except for maybe 3 or 4 poets in America, but it's an important
one for Billy Collins.
Billy Collins, there you go. But it's a crucial sign of support, interest. Readers, readers come before writers.
That you want to be a part of this ecosystem, and you're not just there to draw from it. You're there to put some water in the well, and that's. Right. I just think that's such an important message when people talk about, well, how do I get things published? It's like, well, be a good literary citizen.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good phrase to use. Literary citizen. That's right. And it's not out of, I always say, or when I was teaching, I would say to my students, it's not medicine that you choke down. It's just something that you either want to do or have long wanted to do. That is read and own books and have them around, or you just decide that you're going to, like you say, be a good literary citizen, and just as you can afford it, as you have time to read, just start accumulating, and you learn stuff. Anyway, I could keep talking about this endlessly, so I'll just fall silent.
Rusty Barnes has chimed in, and he agrees. He says you can't overstate the importance of buying from the small presses, particularly those that they're just beginning their work. And it's true. If we don't support them, they won't be there.
No. Like anything else, there's the quality varies always, in everything. But nothing gets stronger unless there's people out there, helping to make it stronger. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was so fun having you on the show, and
thank you.
Before we let everybody go, we of course have to keep reminding you that we do have a conference coming up at Ogilvy Park in Wheeling, West Virginia, September 10th through the 12th. If you haven't done so, you can find more information, including all of our keynotes, 25 plus presenters, music, and just a really good time. And Ogilvy, you can't go wrong there.
Are there writing contests, Christina? I've heard there's an open mic writing contest that's going to be judged by the editors of the new journal Appalachian Lit. Is that
correct? That is correct. And we have another one as well that will take place. It's a one-page writing contest that will be taking place during the conference too. So there's no advanced entry. You got to come see us to participate, and I think it'll be a lot of fun and really great writing and writers to spend the weekend with. So
we're excited about our lineup. We've got some really terrific. We've got great keynotes, but the presentations, we've got some top-notch folks coming down. We're really excited.
Absolutely, I feel lucky that we've got such a good lineup. Also, Damien, you have news this past week. Something happened to you.
That's entirely untrue, but I'm only going to talk about one of those things. So my second book just came out. It's called Fables of the Deconstruction.
Oh, great.
And people say nice things about me. Frederick Barthelme says it is a first-rate performance by an artist to be reckoned with. He said that.
What can you say? Yeah.
No, he sobered up a couple days later. No. No. And if you want to get just a taste of this,
these are stories.
Yes, these are short stories.
Okay.
One of them is one short story is now up on Litzberg. So if you want to check out Litzberg, you can get a taste of the book for free. So yes.
Yes.
Speaking of baseball, John, you might get a kick out of this.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, is it the baseball story?
It's a cruel.
Oh, yeah, I love that one. So definitely go out and get a copy of this book, sample it at Litzberg. I think you'll really enjoy it, and you get to see more of, Damien's aesthetic in terms of writing and how he thinks about writing and the people that come on the show and all those good things. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight, and thank you again, John, for being on the show and reading for us.
It's been a pleasure.
And we will see everybody next week when August arrives.
Wow.
I know. I can't believe it's August. So here we go. Anyway, have a good week, everybody.
All
and
right.
Thursday.
Thanks, John, for tuning in. Thanks, John, for coming on.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.